The Phantom Assassin. Jaxon moved silently through the darkened penthouse, every motion precise, a ghost in the world of shadows and high-profile targets. His latest contract was routine: eliminate a wealthy financier involved in underworld dealings without leaving a trace of his presence. The cold city skyline framed his exit as he disappeared into the night, leaving no evidence that Jaxon, the Phantom Assassin, had ever been there. With each job, Jaxon's reputation grew, yet his anonymity remained intact, a ghost known only by his work, never by his face. But even the most elusive spectre could be hunted, and Jaxon had sensed a change in the air. He was being watched. Lena, his tech-savvy partner, confirmed his suspicions, alerting him to a surveillance feed hacked by someone skilled and dangerous. "Someone's tracking you," Lena warned through his earpiece, her fingers flying across multiple screens in her secure hideout. Jaxon's instincts kicked in. Whoever this was, they knew too much and posed a threat far greater than his usual targets. His investigation led him to whispers of Rex, a rival assassin seeking to take Jaxon's place at the top of the mercenary ladder. Rex's reputation was ruthless, known for exploiting weaknesses and uncovering the secrets of his fellow killers. Jaxon knew the game well. The only way to stay ahead of Rex was to find him first, before Rex could strike. Lena traced Rex's movements to a high-security casino, where a shady deal was set to take place between underworld figures. Jaxon moved through the casino undetected, weaving through crowds and bypassing security with practiced ease. He spotted Rex in a private room, conversing with a man who looked nervous, likely another informant about to betray him. Rex was bold, working in plain sight, confident he was untouchable, but Jaxon was patient, waiting for the right moment. Before Jaxon could move, a loud explosion rocked the building, sending patrons into a panic and scattering security forces. Rex vanished into the chaos, his escape plan to perfection, leaving Jaxon with little more than a trace of his scent. "That wasn't a coincidence," Jaxon muttered to Lena as he slipped out, knowing Rex had used the distraction to cover his tracks. Back at his safe house, Jaxon reviewed the casino footage, piecing together Rex's moves and planning his next step. Talia, one of Jaxon's trusted informants, had intel on Rex's next target, a wealthy CEO with connections to the black market. "He's after the same contract," Talia said, her voice steady, though Jaxon could hear the tension in her words. Rex was making his move to not just expose Jaxon but take over his contracts and undermine his carefully built reputation. Time was against him, and Jaxon had to act fast before Rex's plan escalated to a point of no return. Lena hacked into Rex's communications, catching snippets of a conversation that confirmed Rex's intentions to lure Jaxon into a trap. The next move was crucial. Jaxon needed to confront Rex on his terms, without falling into the snare his rival had set. The location was a luxury penthouse in the heart of the city, a fortress guarded by tech and muscle alike. Jaxon bypassed the building's sophisticated security using his usual arsenal of gadgets and years of expertise. Inside, the atmosphere was tense, the air thick with anticipation as Jaxon anticipated Rex's final play. He found Rex waiting for him on the rooftop, a sniper rifle in hand, aimed directly at Jaxon's approach. "I knew you'd come," Rex called out, his voice dripping with arrogance, confident he had outmaneuvered his rival. Jaxon didn't respond, moving swiftly, closing the distance between them before Rex could pull the trigger. The fight was brutal and silent, a deadly dance between two skilled assassins who knew every trick in the book. Jaxon dodged Rex's blade, countering with a strike that sent Rex stumbling toward the edge of the rooftop. With one final, calculated move, Jaxon disarmed Rex, sending his weapon clattering to the ground below. "It's over," Jaxon said calmly, as Rex looked up at him, defeated but not broken, still scheming behind those cold eyes. "You'll never stay hidden forever," Rex sneered, his words filled with venom as Jaxon bound his hands with zip ties. Lena had already disabled the building's alarms, allowing Jaxon to slip out unnoticed, leaving Rex for the authorities. But Jaxon knew Rex's words held a kernel of truth. The world of assassins was unforgiving, and new threats were always on the horizon. Rex's arrest was public, a bold statement to the underworld that Jaxon was untouchable, but it only heightened the danger. Jaxon's anonymity was intact for now, but the walls were closing in, and the cost of staying hidden was growing steeper. He couldn't let his guard down, not even for a moment, as the line between hunter and hunted blurred with every passing day. Lena's voice crackled over the calms. There's already chatter about someone new, someone looking to take your place. Jaxon sighed, knowing that his life as the phantom assassin was a constant battle, one that could never truly be won. The high-security world he operated in demanded vigilance, and Jaxon was always 2 steps ahead, but never far enough. His identity was his most valuable weapon, and as long as it remained a secret, he could continue his work in the shadows. Talia reached out again, her information proving invaluable as whispers of other rivals began to circulate. Jaxon had to rely on his network of allies and informants, but trust was a rare currency in his world. He had learned to navigate the murky waters of deception, where loyalty shifted like sand, and enemies lurked in every shadow. Rex's defeat was a victory, but it was temporary, and Jaxon knew that he would have to face greater challenges ahead. The game of cat and mouse with Rex was over, but the next player was already lining up, ready to make their move. Jaxon took a breath, steeling himself for the inevitable storm, knowing that peace was never an option in his line of work. Lena's constant surveillance kept him informed, and her expertise was one of the few things he could count on. Jaxon moved forward, undeterred, knowing that survival was his only goal, and anonymity was the key to achieving it. Each contract, each mission, was a reminder of the price he paid to stay hidden, to remain a phantom in the night. The shadows were his only allies, and as long as he stayed in them, no one could touch him, not even Rex. The phantom assassin had survived another threat, but the clock was ticking, and Jaxon knew it was only a matter of time. For now, he had won, but his victory was fleeting as the wind that swept across the rooftop where Rex had fallen. Jaxon disappeared into the night once more, a ghost in the world of killers, his identity still a mystery, his life still a game. The next challenge was already looming on the horizon, and Jaxon would be ready, always ready, for the next rival to emerge.